Sinon, qu'est-ce qu'il a fait Arthur?
L'enregistrement, tu laisses tourner comme ça, on va peut-être réussir à choper des informations.
Ah oui.
Tout est bon à prendre, de toute façon, c'est moi qui m'occupe du montage, c'est moi qui ai découpé.
Ok.
C'est moi qui aime taper les 34 heures.
Attends.
So, who begin? I think it's me.
Yes.
So, I'm gonna choose a subject about energies. So, I know during your speech, you talk about the energies, but I don't see a lot of green energies. So, why use some petroleum or coal? And it's bad for the earth. So why do you don't use the wind or the hydraulic power?
In the United States, about 12% of our power is from renewable sources, so it's not a lot, but it's a decent portion. It's mostly wind. I think wind is like 40%, hydroelectric's 30% of that 12%. Solar's 11%, then other types of renewable energy are less than that. I think because we are an oil producing country, so because we have oil in America and we have coal in America, it's taken us longer to transition to renewable energy, whereas somewhere like France, you guys don't have those types of natural resources, so it is more advantageous to switch over economically. So it's very complicated to change the infrastructure and also the culture around different energy uses. A lot of people are apprehensive to adopt newer energy sources because they're not sure if they're reliable. Like, people know what to expect with gas, natural gas, coal, and with wind and solar power being newer, some people, typically older people, are not as willing to adopt that, but it's changing.
So, about the nuclear, you don't have a very high production.
Mm-hmm.
So why?
There was an accident in Pennsylvania, so it's called 3 Mile Island, I believe is the name of the plant. It wasn't a complete nuclear meltdown, like it wasn't like Fukushima Daiichi in Japan or Chernobyl or anything, but because it was near a decent sized population center, people were kind of just traumatized from that. It was like, okay, nope, we're not
scared.
Yeah, yes. So it's like we don't want to risk there being a nuclear meltdown, because the places that need more energy, the places that you would want to put a nuclear power plant, would be close to a lot of people.
As we can see, we use the same types of energies in France. But the nuclear is the first production with 66%, with 19 power plants, and in USA, the nuclear represents only 19% with 95 power plants. For the thermal energy, so it's petroleum, gas, wood, coal, it's about 9%. The renewable energy represents 20%, 8 for the wind and 12 for the hydraulic. The last 5%, they are produced by the biomass.
So I've got one question for the theme, the traditions. So what would be your top 10 patriotic symbols?
Top 10 patriotic symbols?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm just, like, the first things come to mind, I would say, like, the biggest symbols of America, like, the flag.
Yes.
It's
Surely.
It's like they all kind of have to do with the flag. Like, stars are a big thing because there's stars on the flag, and then red, white, and blue. So, like, those things all, like, are very loudly scream America to me.
I have a question about the flag.
Mm-hmm.
It's 50 stars.
Yep. 50 stars for the 50 states and 13 stripes for the 13 colonies.
And now I think it's 51. No.
Because the other ones, so alright, so we were talking about American symbols.
Yes.
So the flag,
The colors.
colors, stars,
Okay.
Statue of Liberty, I would say is a big one.
It's French.
Well,
It's a French gift, oh my god.
yeah, I know it's from Colmar and it left Le Havre, but it is in America now. She is an immigrant too. Nothing's more American than that. The Hollywood sign.
Mhm.
The Grand Canyon. Some of these are like places. I can't think of like
Yeah.
symbols. Walmart.
Yeah.
Walmart, big cars, like a big pickup truck. That is like I think the most American thing I can think of.
It's black American smoke.
Yeah, a really loud, big Ford F-150. I'm trying to think of one more thing. Oh, I was looking at a map. The Mount Rushmore, the mountain
yes.
with all the presidents' heads on it. I would say that is a very big American symbol. And in like, so I'll just think of like more historic things. So in Philadelphia, there's the Liberty Bell. And then in Washington, D.C. is where all of our national monuments are. So we have like the White House, the Capitol. The Washington Monument is an obelisk.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I think that's all the American symbols I can think of.
Okay.
Enter Didi's top 10 patriotic symbols, so here are mine. Like Enter, I would say that the flag and colors are the biggest French symbols. Even though we share the colors, they do not have the same meaning. So here are some informations about them. So the first time the flag appeared like the one we have nowadays was back in February 1794. And what does the flag's colors symbolize? The blue and red represent the colors of Paris, and the white represents monarchy. Then, for the other symbols, we have wine, all the different cheese, and our international baguette, or with the English accent, the baguette. There is also the Eiffel Tower, the French rooster, the Louvre, and La Marseillaise. The last one would be the President François Hollande and his speech in the Philippines.
Be you. Be proud of you because you can do what we want to do.
Okay. So are the electric cars everywhere in the USA?
I would say electric cars are more common than in France for sure. I know people that have Teslas, or there's other electric vehicles like Toyota. You can get Prius electric. Chevy, like Chevrolet, they make one. It's called the Volt, Chevy Volt. So it's more common because you can buy, they're more readily available and they're not as expensive, whereas in Europe you would have to import them, and so they'd be very expensive. And it's becoming more common. You can find charging stations in public, like at grocery stores, airports, schools, different things like that, so that makes it easier to have an electric car. So yeah, I would say, yeah, they're definitely more common.
However, in France, we have less aid to pay for an electric car because this aid can amount to $2,000 against $7,500 in the US. The market is also more competitive in the USA because they have a greater diversity of electric models, which lowers the price of the car. So, we can say, where's the advantage of France? Well, you have to know that in France we're developing many other energies such as hydrogen buses and cars, or even biofuels by Renault and Peugeot.